Hello, people of the internet. My name is Dallin, and I'm going to be playing this game called agar.io. That's probably how you pronounce it, I don't know. I discovered it based off of a comic that talked about if tech companies were to play this game. This is in spectate mode right now, and as you can see, people play as little blobs, and they go around trying to eat smaller blobs than them and not get eaten by bigger blobs than them. You are able, if you're big enough, to spit out a little bit of your mass. It can serve as a way to speed you up because you go slower the bigger you are. Or you could also split yourself in half. That's the basic mechanism, like that guy just did, split himself in half. I'm just gonna narrate as I play and have a bit of fun with this. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Full screen. Okay, play. You'll start out very tiny little thing. Navigation's really jittery when you're small. I don't know if that's intentional or what. But as you eat these little dots that just randomly spawn in the world, you get a little bit bigger. Eventually you get big enough to eat other people. But you don't want to get eaten by the... Blah! Like that. Doggy. Okay. Don't mind me. I'm going to have to put some music over this or something in the background. It's going to be pretty boring if it's only my voice. But so these green little spiky balls here, you can't eat them. Well, you're not supposed to be able to eat them. If you're really small, they do a good job of acting as cover because the point is they are spiky. They're called viruses because this is about cell reproduction and such. But if you are bigger than them and aren't in too many pieces yourself, if you get too close, they pop you into a lot of smaller pieces. And that makes someone as gigantic as that vulnerable to people because he's not in one big hunk anymore. The names that you get here are kind of hilarious. Oh, like that. Guy just popped. He's now vulnerable. Feeding frenzy. To try and get the little small pieces that are safe, but you don't want to get eaten yourself. If I was a little bigger. Maybe I'll pick off this little edge here. You can navigate pretty good when you're tiny. Actually, I could have potentially gotten pretty big just then. And eventually, after you've split, your pieces will start forming back together. So this guy eventually will go back into his big pieces. You don't have to pick a name, and so, like that teal guy there didn't pick and got distracted. And so, if you don't pick a name, if you've noticed, my color's been changing every game. So if you don't pick a name, it's kind of anonymous, and people can't get mad at you or team up with you because they don't know who you are. This person's trying to sacrifice himself to me. Some of the names. The other thing you will have noticed is that certain names have images associated with them. So there's Earth, there's a doggy, or as my friend insists on calling it Doge. I will insist on doggy because it's the only thing that makes sense to me. There's Sanic, which I don't understand. A lot of countries. There's LMAO, which is this alien face. I don't understand it. Oh, sure, you don't want to feed me this time? Get into a good habit of not getting close to the gigantic guys. Ooh, that was close. Just Libby, they're battling to the death. if you shoot, if you shoot into those viruses, they can grow bigger and eventually split into two pieces. And that's a way to cause someone to pop. That is the only real mechanism of attack in this game, is to do that. But when you're as small as I was, it's a really big percentage of your mass to pop one of those viruses. One of the interesting rules is if you are in enough pieces, you can actually eat the virus up. I'm too small to eat those. Free food, someone left out. I want to get big. I don't know if I'm doing worse because I'm talking or just because of the time of day. Lags become a bit of an issue in the last few days. Actually, today I had an interesting little game where it seemed like everyone else on the server lagged and froze, except me, which didn't really make any sense. But so I was able to go around and just slowly eat everybody. But before I could get to number one and eat the guy that was in first place and gigantic, people started getting back on the server, and so I was never able to get big enough to eat vine sauce that day. I'm not seeing too many horrible names right now. A lot of people do funny or, well, no, not necessarily funny, but names. For some reason, variants on Bob Saget I've seen a few times today. I don't know if anything happened to him or what. Wow, it's going slow right now. Come on, let me get big. Like that. Poopy butt. Denmark. Antares. After this game, I'll probably jump on as one of the texture names. And as you see here, these two doggies, they're two different people because of the border color. I didn't know that it was possible to have the same name multiple times on a server, but the popular names get that. And a lot of people have these like W equals team things. W is the key to shoot out some of your mass like that. And so it's either an honest statement that like, oh, if you feed me and make me bigger, I'll be nice to you, or it's trying to be a trick to people who don't know how to play the game. Oh, he did feed me. Awesome. Ninja Dad. Oh, is Ninja Dad on here? Sorry. There's a YouTube, not YouTube, You Now. There's a father-son flippin' ninja and dad. But oh, maybe he's not Ninja Dad. He's probably just flippin' dad. But I wondered if that was that guy. You never know if people who say like PewDiePie or something are lying or what, so I guess I should watch their videos and see if I show up on any of their gameplay footage. LMAO. I'm not really able to show you a lot of the interesting things because I'm not living long enough. You have to be a certain amount bigger before you can eat someone. So eventually you get a feel for when it's safe to walk, to go on top of or underneath someone. But some people I don't think have that same understanding. Oh wow, that was kind of lucky. And so you'll have someone who's the same size as you trying to eat you for some reason, and you're like, you're standing on my face, please get off. Ooh, Earth. Let me eat you without getting popped. Oh, come on, just a little taste. Not even that. Oh, come on, meanies. I just want to eat you. There you go, thank you. Okay, I will leave now. Before you go and split and kill people. My typical strategy is that I've settled into is actually never to intentionally split myself. Because splitting yourself is the only way to kind of projectile attack someone. But because you split in half, it's sometimes hard to gauge how big you're going to be. And so you might be, the two halves of you might be too small to eat the person, or they might actually be small enough to get eaten by the person you're trying to kill. Wah! That's the number 2 guy. Seu soldado. Seu. Oh, I thought that blue guy was about to pop. Ha ha, see, like that. He was too small to actually eat us. That's being split killed, if it actually works on you. But because you're now smaller, it puts you in a dangerous position. And you're vulnerable until you end up merging back together. Linkin Park. But if you don't go splitting yourself, it's kind of difficult to eat people. Because that's kind of the standard way. So I end up going around for long stretches of time, relying on lag, navigational mistakes, and people that have split themselves or have been popped recently. That's my typical mechanism. And it works pretty good chunk of the time, too. It goes to, okay. I'll show you teams, see what that's like. So with teams, they're just 3 colors. And, oh, okay, they're in. Oh, I'm red. Oh, okay. I never get put on the winning team. Last time I played, I was green, and just because I changed servers is why I'm red now. But so yeah, there are 3 colors. You can't overlap with anyone of the same color, and you can't eat them. And the leaderboard is just what percentage of the mass is owned by which color. So blue is absolutely dominating right now. And so it'll take a lot of effort to beat them back. I find that the team games are a lot more fast-paced and dangerous because it is safer to split yourself because only people of a different color can eat you, and so depending on who's around, it can be pretty darn safe to split yourself 4, 5, 6 times even to go and eat some small people, because it does damage to that team and it doesn't exactly hurt you, because you can just kind of retreat, especially if you're like blue. But yeah, splitting yourself is a way to escape in dire situations, or to attack people. So I really like the balance of this game in general. How easy it is to when all you see is blue. Wow. I know that all these people aren't actually just after me, but that's just scary. USA. USA. I think team could be a whole lot more cool if you could actually just overlap with your own color people. So then you could like sit inside gigantic guys. Kamehameha. Oh, Kamehameha. Oh. Oh, okay. So Kamehameha is Hawaiian chief. Kamehameha must be how the Dragon Ball Z people say it. When I started learning, trying to learn Hawaiian or whatever, I was like, honestly, Dragon Ball Z is just saying Kamehameha? No, apparently there's... I'll have to look that up. Someone tell me if that's right. Kamehameha. Which is a whole lot sadder, actually. It would have been cool to keep that delusion going forever. Ah, Hitler. Let me eat you, Hitler. But no, I really love the balance of the game. This is a PvP battle that I actually enjoy doing. I'm a little surprised I haven't died. Let me go find a green guy to sacrifice myself to. I will not sacrifice to blue. He's gonna split on me. No, okay. There. Okay. Experimental is a little more interesting. I think largely because they don't tell you what's different, or at least I don't know what's different. I've noticed two things so far about this version of the game. One is the way viruses work, and the other is that thing, the brown spiky ball. The viruses, green ones, don't split when you shoot at them. Instead, they just move. And I think they might take a little less mass to move. And these guys, you'll see. Oh, if I go back and close to them, they spit out little dots of mass, but you can't hide in them, because were you to try, okay, I'll sacrifice myself to this to show you the point. They eat you up and spit your mass out to the surrounding area. So that's a fun little discovery to make the first time you encounter this, because typically it's like, oh, let me hide from the big guys. But it's an interesting kind of thing because it kind of turns these almost into like dangerous watering holes. If you shoot these, oh, no. If you shoot them, they spit out the mass. I don't know if the return rate is equal to the input, in which case it's kind of pointless to shoot them, but unless you're trying to feed a group. Yeah, turns this into kind of like crocodile-infested watering holes. Because you're there, you can't get rid of it, you can't do anything about it. That is a gigantic, that's probably the number one guy, an unnamed cell, yeah. And then people go making these face art names. Okay, wow, yeah. Okay, things are going really slow right now. Let me sacrifice myself to Hitler and get back onto the busy servers. Now there are different customizations, so this is how the game looks typically. You have to click this, and this way you can go and spectate, and the camera will just follow whoever is in first position. Someone just shot a virus. Or I guess if I'm in this mode, I have to hit escape, but that takes me out of full screen. You can select the basic set of servers. You can do things like getting rid of the, you can see Wojak over there, losing their textures, losing their names so that you don't see anyone's names. That's just boring. Showing mass is interesting because it tells you how big you are. In spectate mode like this, you can see how big everyone is. Dark theme just switches the colors, but I'll go ahead and just jump in. So you start out at mass 10. Of course, while you're playing, you don't see the mass of other people. Okay, let this be the game where I go big. Poker face. Before I knew that textures just could happen to anyone who picked the name. Oh, great. Ooh. And that there could be multiple on a server. Because you kind of come to associate different people with their names if they take a name at all. And so I would go, and if I was in a particularly decent battle against someone and they beat me, or I beat them or something, like you are a worthy opponent. I appreciate you. I respect you. I give you honor. And I decide that I am now their friend. And it's like, okay, now that I am your friend, I will not attack you, I will not try to eat you, and I will feed you occasionally to let you know that I am your friend. And so I had gone and decided that a guy that was using the name Sanic would be my friend. Oh, yay! Llama Spit. Sanic would be my friend. And every time he would show up on the server, I would go and feed him, and in hopes that he would come to recognize my name and also become my friend, rather than me just being his. But then I started seeing multiple doggies running around, and I realized, oh, there's no guarantee that any of the Sanics that I fed were the same person. So it's kind of sad. What people have started doing, though, is whenever you set people up like this, you always have interesting little cultural choices. People have started setting up, I guess, called clans, where they put a certain... They use similar kinds of names where they put like a $sign in front of it or something to kind of show that they're in this group. But I'm trying to eat this guy, but he's maneuvering in circles, trying to get me with his bigger half. Oh, I'm dead. People are reasonably invincible when they are in the process of merging back together. You know, if I had music playing in my own speakers, then I would be able to sing along. Hey, Llama Spit. Nay, nay. He. If I was bigger, I'd eat you. And are you still... Seriously? There, Kurt. Now, Kurt could split to eat me. He's big enough. You can tell if you're big enough to be split, depending if you're a certain amount bigger than the viruses. So as you start approaching their size, you gotta avoid them. I'm gonna eat you? No, I'm gonna eat you. I like names that are honest like this. I'm gonna eat you. Or like, get in my belly. Or a lot of people are, feed me, please. I don't know how to play. W for team. You can tell if they're trying to trick you if they do something that's like control plus W or something. Because that's different than the standard. Whop. Of course, there's a Reddit about this game. Some good comics and such. So yeah, that's one of the other things people have started doing is complaining about lag in their names, because you can't talk to anyone. The only thing you can do is use names, and so you'll have people that are like that. Someone's name is George or whatever, and then there are people who are like George's friend or oh George sucks. Those kinds of names. Haha. It probably would have worked, but I was off center. Oh, I said I was gonna take one of these names. Let me do the LMAO. Or maybe I could do Britain. That would be fun. Yeah, see, someone's named Bob. I don't know if that's about Bob Saget or not. So someone called Blob Saget. That's good, cool, funny. Get in my belly, yep. People over there trying to eat me. Did that guy split twice? The only time it's potentially safe to split. Okay, I am taking Britain. Oh. There, okay. UK. When people have names that are actual objects, then it becomes kind of an interesting little commentary on the world. You have countries eating other countries. You've got things like debt. It's like, oh, the debt is growing, I see. Maybe I'll do better as a textured thing. Nope. Oh, he's getting close to merging. Oh! My water bottle kind of got in the way of my mouse motion. I want to get big. I want to show the people how it works in the slow motion end game. Because at this point it's kind of reasonably quick, just because you can you get eaten so quickly, you move faster, but when you're humongous, everything's kind of slower and a little bit more epic, because it's kind of like whales crashing into each other rather than little fish or sharks or something. You know what I should do? I should just follow a big guy around and wait for them to get popped. Oop, okay. Canada. UK wants to eat you, Canada. Ooh. And they just got pwned. Navigating cases like that. Sometimes you can tell if someone's hiding inside one of the viruses, but it's reasonably dangerous to go and eat someone into the virus if you're small enough not to get popped, because you might become big enough to be popped. And then you go eat someone and pop into 5 pieces. Shack Daddy. Hey, Leggy. Oh, too small. Origin. Oh, of course. I made it enticing to them. I need to be big enough to be able to eat the pieces that pop off, though. So I can't just wait around on the as is. I think it seems to me that it is more efficient to go in longer lines when trying to pick up dots than to try and like go around and eat everything. Don't get eaten by turkey. Ooh, super fugs. Salad Queen, Pepsi. Kind of wonder whether they drew all of the artwork for this, because you don't need to have any special files. All you have to do is use the name to get the texture, and it grows with you as you. So it's probably vector art, so that it works fine at larger things. Sorry. I haven't introduced myself. I'm Dallin. I do iPhone and Android programming for Blackboard. So I'm living in Utah right now. Went to Brigham Young University, BYU, typical Mormon school. So yes, I am Mormon. That's one of the things. There's something else I would say, but there's not really a reason to say it yet. Oh, guy. Okay. Chuka, are you lagged? Am I big enough to eat you? Yes! Okay, I'm in the running now. Hitler's child. The names these people come up with. Okay. Ooh. Looks like a popped person, not just a split one. I'm gonna eat you. No, I'm gonna eat you. Okay, now I need to get away from Hitler's child. And oh, thank you. I'm gonna eat you for splitting and making it safe for me to go north. Come on. I just want a piece of you. I don't need the big bit. Meh. Using cornering around viruses is a typical way to move around. Sexy lady, ooh, sigh. See, at this point though, I'm getting big enough that I go slow. You can zoom in? I don't. Okay. You go so slow. He might be big enough to eat me, so... There. Okay, I'm still not on the top 10. Can't trick the guy into hitting a spike. But I cannot maneuver him because I'm faster and smaller. Ugh. See, the problem is if I get too close, he'll shoot. Like, oh! Ha ha ha! No. Of course. Turkey thought it was worth the split to eat me. Oh, where'd Hitler's Child go? Well, that was my little game. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll probably record more. I'll start recording other games as well. I just thought that this one would be the most fast-paced mechanism I could use to encourage narration. See, what he's doing there is he's feeding himself to speed up his assimilation. It's kind of interesting that that's possible, but can only really work against a wall. But so yeah, I plan on playing other games. I have my friend Jeremy and I are playing through plenty of games and such. We've recorded an hour or so of oh great, he's giving up. We've recorded an hour or so of Portal 2. We plan on playing through Final Fantasy VIII and other stuff. So I'll go through, I'll pick out some games and I'll start playing them, and this will become a pretty regular thing for me to do, teach me editing, and give me a potentially more social reason to play these games than usual. But that is that. Aloha and good night.